Level 1, the trainee recruit. You sit in a nondescript office in Tel Aviv, your notebook empty but your mind racing. You fill out a background questionnaire with your real family history. You write your mother's maiden name, the street your grandfather lived on, the schools you attended. You perform physical fitness tests, timed sprints, and obstacle courses. You leap over walls, crawl through mud, sweat stinging your eyes. You sit for psychological profiling, answering questions under a one-way mirror. Every response is measured. Every hesitation noted. You shadow a retired case officer for a day, observing minor operations, following him through crowded streets, noting hand signals, listening for coded words, never speaking. Handlers at the recruitment center control your acceptance. You control nothing. Protection is limited to training safety protocols. Your annual stipend during training is $12,500. You have access to basic tradecraft manuals and encrypted communication simulations. If you fail the psych evaluation, you're out. That means no second chance. That means your cover story in life never explains your disappearance from the public career track. You miss family gatherings. Friends notice your absence. Your personal identity begins to feel secondary to a system you don't fully understand. Shadowing, legend handler. They watch you before you even watch them. Mossad has historically screened recruits with rigorous psychological profiling to avoid infiltration. You survive the first scrutiny, but the real challenges await. Level 2, the junior case officer. Level 2, the junior case officer. You handle your first asset in a European city. You meet your asset in a cafe, exchanging encrypted notes hidden in a newspaper. You sit at a corner table, eyes scanning the room. You photograph confidential documents on a tablet without detection. You adjust the tablet's angle, slide it into your bag, pretend to sip espresso. You provide coded instructions via burner phone, tapping messages in an app nobody else knows exists. You exfiltrate sensitive material through a dead drop behind a trash dumpster at midnight, slipping it under a loose panel, glancing over your shoulder, walking away without hesitation. Your handler monitors every move. You manage a single asset. Protection is limited to embassy emergency extraction protocols. Your monthly operational allowance is $8,500. Access to a $200,000 black budget allows you to support your asset, bribe minor officials, maintain safe communication lines. If your asset is exposed, you may be recalled immediately. That means interrogation, legal ambiguity, and weeks of international negotiations. Constant paranoia follows you. Sleep disruption gnaws at your body. Romantic relationships suffer. Friends don't understand your absences. Dead drop asset handler. One wrong signal, and your asset vanishes. Mossad has historically lost assets when handlers miscommunicated operational instructions abroad. You survive your first field mission, earning a reputation for reliability. Level 3, the operational case officer. Level 3, the operational case officer. You run multiple assets in Eastern Europe. You coordinate surveillance teams tracking hostile agents, following them through crowded markets and train stations. You encode instructions into innocuous emails, embedding directives in ordinary sentences that only your asset will recognize. You meet assets under the guise of business dinners, ordering wine, shaking hands, smiling while your mind calculates every escape route. You authorize minor fund transfers for operations, typing numbers into secure systems, watching balances update in real time. Your handler oversees strategy, but you have operational control over 3-5 assets. Protection is limited to embassy emergency extraction. You manage $750,000 annually in classified funds. Access to secure communication systems and local safe houses allows you to operate across borders. If an asset turns double agent, intelligence is compromised. That means operational burn, lost lives, and career jeopardy. You're constantly paranoid about surveillance. Every shadow, every unfamiliar face could be watching. Personal life is almost non-existent. Relationships strained beyond repair. Legend, burn notice, safe house. Every friendly face could be your end. Mossad's Lillehammer incident in 1973 highlights the danger of misidentifying assets abroad. Your successes elevate your status, but the weight grows. Level 4, the station liaison. Level 4, the station liaison. You brief allied intelligence and coordinate joint operations in hostile nations. You draft mission plans for cross-border operations, folding satellite imagery, surveillance reports, and coded instructions into one concise strategy. You host clandestine meetings with allied officers, coffee poured quietly in dimly lit rooms, nods exchanged over encrypted tablets. You validate the identity of foreign assets using biometrics, scanning fingerprints, iris codes, and voice patterns. You monitor the progress of ongoing operations through encrypted channels, analyzing every anomaly, every delay. You report to a regional director. You control a team of 10 officers and analysts. Protection includes official cover and embassy support. Operational funds total $3 million. Access to classified satellite intelligence and communications networks gives you eyes across continents. If an operation fails, allied partners may withdraw. That means international embarrassment, intelligence gaps, and the loss of carefully cultivated assets. You face moral compromise in asset handling, coercion of informants, and the constant pressure to justify ends through dangerous means. Stress fractures your mental health. Asset validation, encrypted channels, official cover. Diplomacy is just another form of tradecraft. Mossad coordination with Shin Bet and the CIA during joint counterterrorism operations in the 1980s demonstrates how delicate these partnerships are. Your coordination earns recognition and increased responsibility. Level 5, the Senior Operational Case Officer. Level 5, the Senior Operational Case Officer. You orchestrate operations across multiple continents. You approve clandestine fund transfers exceeding $5 million, typing commands that ripple through foreign networks. You supervise simultaneous asset networks in hostile territories, reading daily reports from dozens of field officers. You perform high-level intelligence briefings to ministry officials, summarizing threats in precise language, keeping classified details compartmentalized. You authorize extraction of compromised assets, sending vehicles, false documents, and secure transport routes into motion. Direct reporting to the regional director keeps your authority in check. You command 25 officers. Embassy and agency protection protocols are active. Your black budget access is $12 million, supplemented by multiple safe houses and encrypted satellite phones. If an operation is exposed, international diplomatic crisis follows. That means embassy recall, potential imprisonment of assets, and media leaks. Long-term stress eats at you. Insomnia, PTSD symptoms, and social isolation are constant companions. Exfil, NOC, burn notice. You control life and death in silence. Operations against Hezbollah and Hamas in the 1990s show how a single decision can affect thousands. You realize every decision carries irreversible weight. Level 6, the Station Chief. Level 6, the Station Chief. You run all Mossad operations in a hostile country. You authorize multi-asset missions with cross-border surveillance, tracking hostile agents through alleyways, train stations, and government buildings. You personally debrief high-value assets at secure locations, sitting across dim tables, listening, noting every hesitation, every microexpression. You vet field officers' reports and verify all intelligence, cross-checking every photograph, every encrypted note. You coordinate clandestine communications with Jerusalem headquarters, routing messages through safe houses, burner phones, and encrypted satellite networks. You report to the regional director. You control 50 officers, analysts, and operatives. Protection includes embassy immunity and rapid extraction protocols. Your black budget line is $25 million, giving full access to safe houses, encrypted satellite phones, and secure vehicles. If an asset is exposed or a mission fails, national security is compromised. That means burned networks, officer casualties, and international backlash. Sleep deprivation claws at your mind. Paranoia follows every movement. Ethical compromises shadow your decisions. Relationships are fractured. Families don't know your true work. Safe houses, asset debrief, cross-border surveillance. Every decision you make reverberates across continents. Mossad's oversight of multiple foreign assets during Operation Wrath of God in the 1970s shows the stakes of mismanaged intelligence. You've reached the point where mistakes are fatal. Level 7, the Senior Operational Crisis Officer. Level 7, the Senior Operational Case Officer. The asset network is compromised by a hostile intelligence service. 0900 intercepted messages indicate double agents within your network. You read every word, every code, every hidden signal. 0915, you activate emergency exfil protocol for Atrisk assets. Vehicles are dispatched, routes cleared, dead drops checked. 0930, team performs rapid deploy extraction from compromised safe houses. Officers move silently, cameras off, satellites monitored. 0945, burn all sensitive communications, destroy compromised files, every trace gone. 1000, inform Jerusalem HQ. Request emergency satellite coverage. You speak in codes, avoiding any detail that could leak. 10:30, enemy operatives attempt to trace your movement. 10:45, you switch vehicles at a pre-planned dead drop, relocating to a secondary safe house. 11:00, crisis stabilizes but 3 assets are lost. You command 75 field operatives directly. HQ trusts your decisions. Protection, NOC extraction, and diplomatic immunity. Your operational black budget is $40 million. Full access to safe houses, encrypted satellites, and emergency assets allows rapid maneuvers. If you miscalculate, assets are dead. That means permanent network loss, officer casualties, mission failure, and personal liability. PTSD spikes. Hypervigilance consumes every moment. Coffee no longer keeps you awake, your mind never sleeps. Family estranged, romantic relationships non-existent. NOC, dead drop, burn notice. 3 lives lost, and the world never notices. Mossad's operational adjustments after double agent exposure in Europe in the 1990s demonstrate the deadly precision required. Rapid decisions. Constant calculations. Every signal, every footstep, every whispered code matters. You know the cost of delay. You see the ripple effects of each choice across cities and countries. The adrenaline is constant. You rarely eat, you rarely sleep. Every mistake could be the last. You've mastered crisis management, but the stakes now include entire regions. Level 8, the Division Director. Level 8, the Division Director. You oversee all overseas Mossad operations. You authorize covert assassinations, sabotage, and counterintelligence missions, signing orders that travel halfway across the world before breakfast. You review multi-billion-dollar black budget programs, approving spending that never appears in any ledger. You coordinate with foreign intelligence agencies on sensitive matters, whispering through encrypted lines, exchanging signals that could topple governments. You run internal audits of stations without alerting operatives, reading reports, inspecting communications, noting discrepancies that could mean betrayal. You report directly to the Mossad director. You command over 200 officers globally. Protection includes full diplomatic cover and emergency NOC extraction. Access to a $2.3 billion black budget gives you multiple secure locations and global communications infrastructure. One leaked document could end operations worldwide. That means exposure, asset deaths, officer arrests, and diplomatic crises. PTSD is constant. Isolation is absolute. Your children barely recognize your face. Every friendship is filtered through paranoia. Black budget, NOC, third country meetings. Your hands never touch the danger, but it touches everything you love. Oversight of Mossad's global intelligence collection operations in the late 2000s shows the lethal precision required. You've reached the ultimate authority, but your personal cost is total. Level 9, the invisible operative. Level 9, the invisible operative. You no longer exist on paper. You control every Mossad overseas station, manage $5 billion in black budget programs, and approve all high-risk operations. You authorize multi-asset exfiltration missions in hostile territories, sending operatives into alleys, airports, and embassies without leaving a trace. You decide on wet work targets, watching enemies fall on distant screens, knowing the consequences. You personally vet sensitive intelligence before national briefings, redacting, analyzing, confirming every thread. Nobody questions you. You answer only to the director. All field officers execute your orders. Protection includes NOC extraction and international diplomatic cover. 33 years of service have left their mark. Dozens of covert assassinations, sabotage missions, counterintelligence campaigns. Hundreds of assets recruited, dozens lost. Estranged spouse, children unaware of your career, zero social life. PTSD, paranoia, moral weight pressing on every decision. Chronic insomnia, hypertension, unexplained injuries. You remember the first day filling out a form in a nondescript Tel Aviv office. That notebook was empty. Your mind raced then. It still does. You retire to a house in Herzliya under a cover story, blending into civilians. Or you die during a classified operation in a hostile city, your name erased from every record. Or public exposure comes, whistleblowing unmasking decades of covert action. Somewhere, a 22-year-old is filling out a Mossad recruitment form. They have no idea what they're signing away. The cycle begins again.